We begin with the breaking developments overseas. The American embassy in Baghdad under siege, the situation escalating. Hundreds of protesters storming the gates, retaliation for U.S. airstrikes targeting an Iranian-backed militia group in Iraq. The mob setting fires, scaling the walls, breaking through the outer barricades. Protesters smashing doors and windows. U.S. military choppers overhead firing flares to protect Americans on the ground. The embassy now on lockdown. About 100 Marines sent in for support, and we're just learning hundreds more troops could be on the way. President Trump warning Iran will, quote, pay a very big price. ABC's James Longman leading us off.
Chanting death to America, an unprecedented assault. Hundreds of Shiite militia and their supporters today laying siege to the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. It's supposed to be one of the most secure in the world, and yet crowds tried to storm the compound, setting fire to guard posts and embassy walls, prying an embassy plaque off the entrance and trying to break through windows, just a pane of glass separating guards from protesters. American troops taking up position on the roof of the embassy, firing tear gas at times as hundreds of U.S. personnel hunkered down inside. In the fog of tear gas, the flags of Kata'ib Hezbollah flying outside embassy walls. It was that Iranian-backed militia targeted in U.S. airstrikes over the weekend after they killed an American contractor. Their supporters had come from the funerals of their fighters to attack the embassy. President Trump today laying the blame directly on Iran, tweeting, Iran will be held fully responsible for lives lost, adding they will pay a very big price. This is not a warning, it's a threat. Happy New Year.
نیروهای مردمی اساس اعلام منابع هشت شعبی نیروهای مردمی
اقدام آمریکا بدون تردید یک اقدام تروریسم دولتی است. نقض حاکمیت عراق، اقدام به قتل افرادی که تمامی زندگی خودشون
امریکا و ایران
There's new urgency with the bushfire crisis gripping Australia. The situation's so dire in some areas now that the military is being deployed to help rescue people trapped by flames. Fueled by strong winds and intense heat, the flames are spreading so fast that one fire crew south of Sydney had a very close call. Further down the coast, with skies turning deep red and fires closing in, some people fled to the beach.
We came down here because the place we were staying at, my parents-in-law place burned down this morning.
Pretty extreme, it was very scary.
The Australian government says Navy vessels and helicopters will be sent out to help get stranded residents to safety. In tonight's top story, Heather Yoricks-West reports on what's been a terrifying past 24 hours for many in that region.
Southerly change.
From his boat off the coast of New South Wales, Rod Sheehan captures the dramatic scene. A smoke-filled sky.
It's coming right now.
That just moments later turns blood red. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the day's light has disappeared. The apocalyptic scene terrifying for those unable to find shelter on boats. Thousands huddled on beaches and docks praying the fire's front would stay away.
It is pitch black. It is quite scary in that community. We've got 3 strike teams sitting in with the community, literally standing side by side with our community at the beachfront.
2 people died in the blaze Tuesday. As many as 5 others are missing. More than 200 fires are now burning across New South Wales and Victoria, some with an intensity unlike anything fire crews have ever seen. A fire tornado overturned a firefighter's truck Monday. Volunteer Samuel McPaul, just 28 years old, died.
He leaves behind, tragically, a beautiful wife, Megan, who is pregnant with their with their first child.
Crews on the ground are exhausted and overwhelmed, with new blazes sparking every day.
In another challenge to the U.S., North Korea's leader is promising to reveal a, quote, new strategic weapon. Kim Jong-un's vow was announced this morning after North Korea's capital celebrated the new year. According to state-run media, Kim threatened shocking action and said North Korea could end a moratorium on testing nuclear weapons and missiles, but he also left the door open to dialogue with the U.S.